This conference will now be recorded.
Hey, thank you for joining us for our Monday night PowerUp group meeting. It is October 8th, and we're going to go ahead and get right into the meeting. Monica, would you like to call our meeting to order?
Sure. We call this meeting to order. The purpose of GOGI is to provide simple tools to anyone interested in making more positive decisions in their lives. The goal of the PowerUp is to create a purpose and meaning of service for that week. That is where the GOGI gets their power. We power up by living a life of service.
Thank you. Rebecca, would you like to read us our GOGI tools for positive decision making, please?
Absolutely not, but I will. I'm just kidding.
Funny girl.
The GOGI tools for positive decision making are boss of my brain, belly breathing, 5-second light switch, positive thoughts, positive words, positive actions, claim responsibility, let go, forgive, what if, reality check, and ultimate freedom.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So what was our tool for last week?
Boss of my brain.
Boss of my brain. And does anybody remember what the keywords for boss of my brain are?
Negative. Not right this second, I don't. If you put it up on the screen, I will.
What part am I using right now?
The smart part, the emotional part, and the old habit part.
Correct.
Very good. And so then we ask ourselves what?
Which one is the boss right now?
Correct. So we ask ourselves which one is in charge, right? So if we're having a thought right at this moment, which one is it that's in charge?
Probably
and
the emotional part.
a lot of times it is the emotional part. So if we have a thought, and let's say we're having a thought and that thought's back in our old habit part, what do we need to do?
Change our thought.
Okay. Or move that thought, right?
Yeah, move it.
I think something brought up moving it back to the front.
Back of the
which
butt.
would be creating to the smart part. Back to the smart part. Oh, I didn't fix that. Well, it doesn't matter because it's all done, redone already.
Right.
I gave the booklet to Coach and she gave it back to me again. Every time I try to give her this booklet, tell her it's done, she gives it back to me and asks me to do something else. It's like a tug of war. Okay, so we then went over. Oh, do I not have? I don't have it in this one, but we went over on Wednesday then the science behind the tools, which was pretty cool.
Yep.
And we learned that what are those little things called that transfer thoughts and emotions?
Neurotransmitters, neurons and
right.
transmitters.
So they're the electrical wiring.
Right, and we create neurological pathways.
That's right, neurological pathways. So it's the communication network
Yes.
that happens. And so the cerebral cortex is where our smart part is. That's where all they call that, the executive branch of the brain. This is where all the decisions are made and everything. And then once decisions are made, or once something, a habit is formed, then it jumps all the way back here, jumps to the back part of the brain, because that's now something that's old habit and it doesn't need to be in the front anymore. And then
Memories in the back. Because it says
Yeah.
that your memory is in the back. So it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
an old bad habit. It could be, just
Right.
our memory.
Any kind of a habit, right? Anything that's automatic or where our memories are.
Mm-hmm.
So where's our emotional? What's that thing called? The part of the brain where the emotions and everything come from. We're going to learn more about that tonight.
Our hypothalamus.
Right. So the limbic system which is this whole little limbic system, which is this whole tidbit here, which is not just emotions, but like the hypothalamus. Well, and actually in the amygdala too. So I love.
That's
so
funny.
then we have this.
I
You
remember
remember?
learning all that in school about the brain when I was in nursing school.
Oh, really? It's fascinating. Yeah, it's really fascinating. So, we got the synapse, and this is where everything drops down. These guys open up, grab some. Maybe they don't take them all. Some of them get redigested. Some of them just kind of dissipate. And that's basically the main functions of Boss of My Brain are the three parts that we have, and making sure that the emotional part doesn't have to necessarily be bad, but usually, and that's like right here in the middle, right?
Drama. Yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's what all that is right there. So, all right. So what,
Can
Go
you
ahead.
print out the brain with the guy riding it and send that to me too, so I can color that one too?
Absolutely. Do you want it in Spanish also, or just in English? Because I found one in Spanish. He did one in both languages. I just found it. It was pretty cool. Yeah, I'll send it over to you.
Thank you.
All right. So according to the national calendar, students of GOGI are studying what tool this week?
My favorite, belly breathing. Whoop, whoop.
Belly breathing. There we go. Second week of October. So we're now going to apply belly breathing to what topic are we tackling this cycle?
Anxiety,
which pretty much goes hand. I mean, this belly breathing's perfect for it, isn't it?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
So before we start, how do you? Oh, hi, Savina. Just happened to notice Savina's on. Hi, Savina.
Hi.
Incognito.
So before we start reading, how off the top of your head, we've gone through belly breathing a couple times. How do you feel belly breathing can help as far as anxiety is concerned?
Because you're taking deep breaths, and that in itself helps clear your mind of any stress or stressors that you might have.
Brings more oxygen to your brain so you can make better decisions.
Right. And what did we learn last week that belly breathing was? It could be used as a what? Sometimes we stick it in our door to keep the door open. It's a
wedge.
There we go. Sometimes we have them when our underwear rides up.
Hey,
I guess that's more of a wedgie. But it makes sense, right? Your underwear is wedging itself between your nalgas. So yeah. So belly breathing is a wedge. It's something that stops us from our train of thought or whatever it is that's going on. And honestly, I think it's probably one of the best wedges there is, personally. For immediate. Yeah.
Belly breathing has saved me a lot of the times before I went into the hospital. It was huge for me, so I'm glad that I learned that.
I'm just glad it works. I mean, I think that's probably one of my biggest things is it honestly works. And I love that. I don't have to worry about it not working.
Right.
All right. So I hope Joanne comes so she can
I know,
see
'cause
her
I
little
see
bit
her
here.
little.
I know, I see her little picture, her little.
Yeah. Okay, so who would like to read this first page?
I will.
Okay.
Can
you see
belly
it?
breathing. Yeah.
Yep.
Belly breathing.
Okay.
Statement of ownership. With belly breathing, I can instantly relax my body and I can make positive decisions. Repeat this week's statement of ownership as often as possible before you get out of bed, before your meals, during a break, and before sleeping. Write the statement for added emphasis. Your weekly statement of ownership reinforces this week's tool. This week, the weeks to study belly breathing are the second week of January, the second week of April, the second week of July, and the second week of October. Keywords for belly breathing. One hand on my chest, one hand on my belly. Which one is moving right now? My brain works better when my belly moves. Objective belly breathing. Your goal in learning this week's tool is to breathe with your chest remaining still and your belly moving in and out. This is your most powerful way to breathe, and you can achieve this with this week's tool called belly breathing. Did you know that when you breathe with your belly, it actually makes you smarter? Um, it is it is true. This is because when you breathe into your belly, you are also getting oxygen into your brain, and that makes the brain work better. Gogi believes there are two types of breathing. There is belly breathing. There is breathing with your chest, and there is belly breathing. How to use belly breathing. You can use the belly breathing tool at any time. Here are 3 ways to use the tool. You can actually put one hand on your chest and one hand on your stomach and see which one is moving. Or just put one hand on your stomach to make sure it is moving. And if you are breathing with your chest, you can direct the air all the way into your stomach area and begin belly breathing. Joanne Lugo. One of my favorite Gogi tools is Let Go, but first I utilize belly breathing to ease my anxiety emotionally. Then let go and hand squash toss the issue physically. And then positive thinking spiritually to remind me how far I have come and appreciate what I have or where I am and keep on pushing. By doing so, I have also utilized the tool forgive.
Awesome. Okay, so what's one of the ways that it talks about there being 3 ways we can use the tool belly breathing? What's one of them?
One hand on your chest and one hand on your stomach and see if your belly's moving. And if it's not, then make it move.
Does anybody found it hard to do at first?
Yes, absolutely. Because we're so used to holding our gut in when we breathe. We're used to breathing from our chest,
right?
And when you breathe from your belly, it's so much more freeing, I feel.
I instinctively, when I go to take in a breath, I instinctively pull in my stomach. It's just, I don't know why. I don't know if I'm the only one that does that, but it's just instinctively, I feel like I want to pull in from my stomach because I feel my chest needs to expand, right?
Yeah.
But our chest actually can't expand unless we're pushing our tummy out. So it gets, I have to usually, when I try to do it, I usually kind of half get it wrong at first, and then I have to mentally, okay, this is where I'm supposed to do it. But yeah. So, and I think the putting the hand on your chest and your, tummy kind of maybe reminds you a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like a pro at belly breathing now. I love it.
That's good. That's good. So what's one of the ways, why does belly breathing make us smarter?
Because it puts more oxygen in your brain.
Exactly. All right, so if there's two kinds of breathing, chest breathing or belly breathing, obviously we want to work on our belly breathing. And we got a nice little picture here. There's another picture that's a little bit on the crazy side, so I wasn't sure whether I should use it for the community or not. But let me just show it to you really quick. I wasn't really sure. So I mean, it's kind of a cool thing, but
well, can't wait.
It's a little
questionable.
Well, it looks a little bit scary. Oh, here it is.
Oh, because those two pictures.
It's kind of like anime, almost. Okay, so and this part scares me. So you plant your feet in solid ground, right? We got that. So your stomach area, and I guess here's his little tummy, and he's breathing it in, but I don't know what all this is.
That looks like projectile. Something.
Right? You can see him falling in his tummy. Yeah, I was like, I'm not too sure about that one. Yeah, we'll just set that one. We'll keep that one right where it is for now.
Yeah,
you're right.
I think that might.
I was like, nah, no, can't do that. This guy is a lot more friendly. Okay. Savina, would you like to read this page for us? Let's see. Yeah, that should be good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Are you covering the microphone?
Well, probably. That's why I always have to ask.
Okay, there you go. I listened to Monday night's meeting, the meeting I missed. I was like dying because they couldn't hear you, and it was because you were covering the microphone. I was cracking up.
So am I not covering it right now?
No, you're good.
I don't think. Okay. Yeah, I think you're good right now. Yeah.
Okay. I have it resting on my belly so I can breathe.
There you go. Hi, Joanne. Okay, go ahead.
Hi, Joanne.
Hi.
Hi, Joanne. Review belly breathing. Belly breathing will help you make positive decisions. This is because when you get air into your belly, your brain works better. The only thing you need to do to use this tool is to ask yourself which part of your body is getting the air. Are you chest breathing or are you belly breathing? Thoughts from Coach Lee Carlson. The GOGI tool belly breathing is proper breathing and promotes healthier body and brain function. The benefits of belly breathing include clarity of thoughts, focus, increased energy, relaxation, and an overall healthier brain and body. When your brain and body are getting more oxygen, you are making better and more informed decisions. Every day, there are situations that can cause stress and anxiety. It is in these moments that I focus on how I am breathing and how it never fails that I am able to combat the anxiety and stress with the use of the GOGI tool belly breathing. Belly breathing helps us avoid conflict and enables us to calm ourselves so we can think more rationally. In working to help implement GOGI at various facilities, it always seems at first that people think belly breathing is silly. However, when people begin to see and feel the benefits of the GOGI tool belly breathing, it quickly becomes a part of their everyday life. If I had $1 for every time a man or woman has told me that belly breathing has kept them out of trouble, conflict, or dragged them out of a bout of depression or anxiety, I could buy the whole world a GOGI book, and I would. GOGI for life.
So what do we see in this picture here?
Somebody trying to belly breathe.
And is he doing it correctly?
He's sticking it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's sticking his belly out. He's got his hand on his belly. And he's sucking in, and then he's blowing out, and his stomach disappeared.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
My stomach would still be sticking out, just maybe not quite as far. But
Yeah, mine too.
So this is oh, that's probably Ernesto. So this little bit here about Coach Carlson kind of tackles what we're talking about. We're talking about anxiety. So what did she bring out about belly breathing and anxiety?
And it helped a lot of people. That a lot of people have said that it's helped them.
And it calms you.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Ernesto. Okay, we have you here on speaker.
Okay.
So do you want to just give us a few thoughts? Because remember, we're using the tools this cycle to help us deal with anxiety. So do you want to go ahead and give us what your thoughts are on belly breathing and how it can help with anxiety?
Actually, yes, I will. In fact, 2 minutes ago, I got off the phone with my youngest daughter, Michelle, and my daughter, Michelle, she's 19 years old, but she's been in and out of juvenile hall and mental institutions and county jails now since she was 11 and a half years old. So right now, she just she got a pass from going to prison because they messed up on her paperwork. So they dropped all the charges, and her probation told her that she'd be released if she agrees to go to a rehab. So right now she's in the rehab, and I was able to talk to her tonight, and just hearing her voice gives me like crazy amounts of anxiety, because just listening to her express herself and just what she's struggling with her addiction, it just drives me nuts. It makes me want to take my nails in my hand and just scratch the wall. I get so anxious because I wish that I could just do something to help her to get better and move forward in her life. So when she's talking to me and describing her day there at the rehab, I just have to be mindful and listen. And belly breathing is something that helps me very, very much. It keeps me composed. It keeps me patient. It keeps me understanding. It keeps a lot of oxygen in my brain so that I can make a response that is smart and not just based on my emotions. Because it's hard for a father in prison to feel some type of way when his kid is struggling with addiction and particularly sticking a needle in their arm. But I have to belly breathe. Otherwise, my anxiety would just, I don't know what I would say or what I would do in here in prison, as far as, sometimes anger or frustrations can come out on somebody that has nothing to do with the original issue in the first place. And so, belly breathing is huge. It's simple, but it really works. And just FYI, she got a job today. She was hired doing some electrician work. I guess she's certified in that she did before this 6-month class. So she'll be getting paid pretty good, working 10 hours a day, and she starts tomorrow. So hopefully she stays on track. So that was what happened today.
How much did you say? $10 an hour, or did you say 10 hours a day?
10 hours a day.
For how many days?
Yeah. She'll be working 5 days a week, and she's getting paid $11 something. I don't know. I forgot exactly how much she said, but
Okay.
she'll be working every 5 days a week for 10 hours a day. So
That's awesome.
she says that
Let's hope that keeps her busy. Let's hope that keeps her busy, but doesn't overwhelm her.
Right.
yeah. Well, there's another thing she said that made me go wild with anxiety. She said that her first goal is to buy a car, and I mean a couple months ago she ran away from another rehab. She stole the car, and she got in a high-speed chase, and she got in an accident, broke both her ankles. But I remember that she had written me a letter, and she said that all she was thinking about when she was in the high-speed chase was go big or go home. So that just sent me crazy with anxiety right there. Like her wanting to buy a car, it's like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
So I just have to belly breathe more. So that's kind of how I use the tool with anxiety. That's a big one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. I hope. Yeah. Well, we're gonna send positive thoughts her way. Just 10 hours a day kind of gives me anxiety thinking about somebody that's just fresh. But they must, hopefully they know what they're doing. I guess it's keeping her busy. So that's good.
Yeah.
Well, and it's good that you're using belly breathing. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody?
I hope.
Go ahead.
I hope I didn't make anybody uncomfortable sharing this pretty big stuff, but that life is real. So for me, talking about real issues and how to cope with them is sometimes when I hear other people share, it really helps me understand that I'm not alone. That there are other people facing similar challenges, and it just gives me a sense of support to know that. I'm not alone. So that's why I like sharing stuff like that.
Ernesto.
No, we definitely. Well, go ahead, Rebecca.
I was just gonna.
Is that Rebecca?
Yeah, I was actually just got out of the mental hospital myself. I got out. I went in on September 7th, and I got out 5 days later. I was suffering really bad from anxiety, depression, and PTSD.
Monitored and recorded.
Yeah.
I had anxiety, depression, and PTSD, and I used belly breathing before I went in, and it helped me a great deal. I currently still use it, obviously, because it helped me so much before I went in, but it's been a huge lifesaver for me, that and these meetings that we have weekly, because before I come on here, I'm like out of my head. I can't even deal with life sometimes, and I get on here, and these girls make me feel so much better, and I can laugh with them and joke with them, and it's a huge relief for me 2 times a week.
And could I ask you, like, out there when you said life gets real, right? And
Yeah.
what would you say is like one of your main stressors that just sends the anxiety out of control sometimes, or on borderline out of control?
I have a 4-year-old, and my husband promised me. I have a 4-year-old, and my husband promised me that he wouldn't leave me to raise another kid by myself. And the fact that I have to do this by myself without him here is a huge stressor to me. So I'm still trying to I'm still trying to cope and deal with that.
Yeah, I can imagine. I saw my mom struggle for many years without my dad, and trying to raise me and my 2 sisters, and for a woman to be in that position to have to do it on her own, so to speak, is must give. I still don't know how to say thank you to my mom today, because there's no amount of thank yous that could be said to really, put things into perspective. But
Right.
I think you're amazing for doing what you have to do.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
And I think belly breathing should be a tool that you always keep close, because, keeping oxygen in your brain to make the best decisions when life hits. I mean, I think it's important, vital, right?
It definitely is. Like I said, it was a lifesaver to me. And then coming in here to these girls, all these girls that come on to the meetings, and even some of the guys, it's like it's a huge help. It's really helped me a lot. I'm glad that I joined the group, and I'm glad that I started learning GOGI.
And if you could, do you know most of the girls that are there in the meeting right now, or?
I don't personally know them. I live in Massachusetts, so I was supposed to go out to Cali in November, but I don't have the funds to do it. The next time I go out there, I'm sure I'm gonna meet a great deal of them, so I can't wait for that.
Yeah, Rebecca's in Massachusetts. So, but
okay.
Yeah, but very soon we're all gonna participate in an actual webinar where we're gonna turn our cameras on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're gonna see each other.
So that might bring on a little bit of it. That might bring on a little bit of anxiety. So maybe belly breathing, everybody can do a little bit of belly breathing then, right?
Yeah. Most of us have met. I think it's just belly breathing for them because I don't wear makeup or do my hair during the week. So everybody has to belly breathing on their part.
Tamara, you should tell Ernesto what my nickname is.
Oh yeah. She's calmed down a lot, but her nickname originally was Boston Mayhem. Because she's from Massachusetts and she would get online and just, oh Lord have mercy, she would go off on one. So she's a milder, kinder Boston Mayhem.
The Boston Mayhem.
Yeah. Okay, before Ernesto gets cut off, which is probably going to be shortly, does anybody else have any comments or questions for him?
I'd like to say something to him. He was talking about being for real, and sometimes when I tell my life story to people, I leave out a part that embarrasses me. And one time I told a friend of mine, and she said, "Don't you know that's like the part that touches people the most?" And he's right. We need to talk about the things that we don't want to talk about sometimes.
That's very true. Yep. Because those don't you think those are the things that make us real? Those are the things that make it people can, kind of, wow, that she's a regular person,
Yeah.
She's got issues like all of us.
Yeah.
People can relate to that.
Not everybody.
No, that's true. Not everybody.
Sorry I'm late, guys. I just signed on.
I know that.
What was that, Mom?
I said sorry I'm late. I just signed on.
Uh-oh.
Did you hang up on Ernesto?
Hold on. No. Your PC ran into a problem and needs to restart.
What?
Sorry, guys. My PC is getting ready to reboot.
Oh, but we can see you. Do you want me to take over the thing?
Yeah, can you? That's so weird. You can still see. You can still see my screen, right?
Right. I just I can't control it. That's the only thing.
Okay. Well, my computer just rebooted, so give it a second. That's very strange. Okay, so let's go ahead and why don't we all do an activity really quick while we're waiting for my computer to come back up. I have no idea what just happened. Why don't we all belly breathe? Why don't we all share a big belly breath? You guys ready? Yeah. Unmute yourself, guys. One.
Ready.
Let's breathe in. Push out the tummy and release it. One more.
Are you hoping that our belly breathing will help your anxiety?
Yes, I am. And honestly, it feels good just to let your gut hang out sometimes. I'm just saying.
Yeah, because no one can see it.
Okay, go ahead,
Thank you, Ernesto.
Thank you. Oh, you know what? I've been wanting to do this really, really bad. Mayor commitment.
Mayor commitment.
You have 30 seconds remaining.
To the study of GOGI.
To the study of GOGI.
GOGI.
Grant us a joy.
Grant us a joy.
Grant us a joy.
Go.
Giving and receiving.
Giving and receiving.
Our inner freedom.
So that our inner freedom.
Grant us.
Where you go?
All of that.
Oh, we lost them. Oh, okay, you guys, it's seriously really weird. I don't know. I got blue screen. Can you guys still see the screen, or did it shut you off?
No, we can see it.
We can see it.
But you can't. Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can get back in. It's letting me in now. That is so weird. All this GOGI stuff overloaded my work computer. All right, hold on. Logging in now. I love it when Ernesto calls in.
He's great.
Isn't he great? Yeah.
I really hope his daughter does well.
He carries a lot of guilt about he's having a hard time with let go on that one. He carries a lot of guilt about not being there.
Yeah.
And that's a constant thing he's on. So. All right.
Michael's like that too. He's like, I can't deal with the fact that my 4-year-old is like this out of control. I feel like if I was home, she wouldn't be like this. I feel like it's my fault that she acts like this, and because I'm not there, I'm like, you can't.
All right, you guys, I have to end that session. Wait. No, I'm not going to. I'm going to go in through the site, through the, I don't know if I can.
It's still
I'm going to have to end the session, and then you guys are going to have to log back in, I think, because I can't get in.
Hey.
See what happens.
All right. You know what? Hold on. Okay, is everybody getting off?
No.
This conference will now be recorded.
All right, so we're back. Let me go ahead and pull this back up. That was very strange.
There was too much anxiety.
Right? That was just so weird. I have never had that happen before. Okay, so here is my belly breathing. And let me share my screen.
Share.
So weird. So weird.
It was overloaded by all the breathing.
Probably. That was just really strange. All right. Let's get back down to where we were. Okay. So we were right here. All right. Monica, would you like to read this next page?
Give me 1 second. All right. From Coach Taylor, belly breathing. Belly breathing was one of the first tools added to the GOGI toolbox. It was the group of men at FCI Terminal Island in San Pedro who commented that their decisions were more positive when they were breathing fully with their belly. As simple as slow down and take a breath sounds, it is not all that simple in the heat of the moment when emotions are running high. When faced with a situation that generates a lot of emotion, there is a tendency for some people to react, sometimes without giving consequence a second thought. It is for these individuals that the GOGI tool belly breathing can be most helpful. Belly breathing is easier to remember than, quote, slow down or take a breath. For individuals who react before they think, when they practice belly breathing, and when they call the tool by its name, and when they think about the tool, and when they read about the tool, and when they study the tool on GOGI calendar, then it becomes a part of their reactions to life's inevitable challenges. The GOGI tool belly breathing has come in very handy to help our GOGI students avoid the temptation to react, which oftentimes makes a situation worse. But belly breathing is also used by other GOGI students for other purposes too. Oftentimes, it is belly breathing that helps a student overcome discouragement and depression. Why? Because the act of focusing on one's breathing permits oxygen to get into the brain, and this simple act oftentimes helps the individual think a bit more clearly or more clearly about the promise of a better future. When we tighten up and shut down, and we shut down and tighten up our breathing, it is almost as if we are suffocating our brain and not letting it create possibilities for us to consider. We open possibilities for ourselves when we let oxygen into our brain through belly breathing. And there is yet another way our GOGI students use belly breathing. Our students use belly breathing to get a clear vision of their life and the service they can provide to their communities. They use belly breathing to help them feel and sense and experience the ultimate freedom that comes from living a life focused on service. They use belly breathing to move gracefully beyond the petty parts of life and into the big picture of their potential. Without this simple GOGI tool called belly breathing, we struggle to find air to make our dreams into our reality. With daily use of belly breathing, our daily life becomes our dream come true. Love, Hope.
Oh, I love the way she writes. Okay.
There's a spelling error in there.
You know what, Mon? I'm gonna send you the Word document. I have this entire booklet in Word document, and I'm gonna let you go through it. She has a typesetter that's gonna fix stuff.
Oh, then don't worry about it, because it was just the.
No, but you know what? They're gonna miss them, and we're gonna roll this thing out, and Mom's gonna be like, oh, there's that typo. So yeah, I know. I need to pay more attention to them.
Well, no, it's just.
And I have found, and this is the stuff that's on the blog. So yeah, there's a couple of them that I found.
Okay.
So what are one of, she listed quite a few different reasons or ways that belly breathing is used, or things that it can overcome. So what are your guys' thoughts? Keeping in mind anxiety, which we've talked about quite a bit tonight.
Well, it can help in many situations. She even said it can help discouragement or depression. I think even if you just kind of have a little lull in your day, if you take a deep breath, somehow put some oxygen in your brain, you can think better and maybe have more positive thoughts to help get through a instant little challenge that you might be facing.
I feel like it could be a good help with anger as well.
Oh, most definitely. I like that point you brought out, Monica. Like you said something about there being a lull. Do you think that using belly breathing when there maybe is a lull or maybe our day's kind of dragging, that belly breathing might reinvigorate us because of that oxygen getting to our brain?
Yes. Because it's kind of like when if you're really tired, you're sitting at your desk and because you're working and you're nonstop, when you start to want to fall asleep, they say get up and walk for a few minutes because then
Right.
you're breathing and you're breathing in oxygen. So even if you don't feel you can get up and walk, at least if you do some belly breathing, I think that will replace, that'll put some oxygen in your brain and you might actually be able to catch a second wind and keep going with what you're doing.
Right. Might give us some clarity, a
Yeah.
little bit of clarity, maybe get rid of some brain fog.
Yeah, like being on hold with the tax people.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So, how do you guys think that we could share this tool with somebody this week? What instances could we maybe, without being like weird or obnoxious, share this tool?
I know I'm stuttering right now, but I was outside. I had my necklace and my bracelet on either earlier today or yesterday, and one of my friends asked me what GOGI was, and then I explained it to her, and she was like, "Wow, that's interesting." And I told her one of my favorite tools was belly breathing, and I did it, and then I showed her how to do it, explained it to her, and then she did it, and she was like, "Oh my God, I feel so much better."
Yeah.
So that's how I shared.
And it's a yoga thing, right? I mean,
Yeah,
I don't do yoga, but it's kind of a yoga thing.
Yeah.
But that just means we all need to get necklaces or bracelets and advertise.
Yeah, and then we'll go towards GOGI donations for the guys to get books.
Yeah.
Exactly. I have one of the necklaces is a little bit too short because it broke. And so, I just kind of tied it in a knot, and I have it on my rearview mirror now. So, next to my dad's dog tags from the war. So I make sure that it's nice to have just a little bit of a reminder. But yeah. I think we could, I see it. I know that there have been times, and I'm careful, but little kids throwing a tantrum or a kid being upset or something, I really want to teach them how to belly breathe. I think it's something that could help them, but like I said, I guess we got to be careful with that these days. People will think I'm a weirdo.
Right.
All right. Okay. So
I mean, you could probably show your granddaughter, or I know you taught her Boss of My Brain, and she was running around thinking she was the boss.
She's gonna need to belly breathe from here until she's grown, because she is hell on wheels already. I think my daughter's gonna need doing the belly breathing, honestly.
Yeah.
Which cracks me. All right. Who would like to read what Tamara Dela Cruz wrote here?
I will.
Who's caller one? Is that you, Alfred?
Nope.
Did you call in, Alfred? No. Oh, it's Mary. Hi, Mary.
Hello.
Hello.
But there's caller number 1 and there's Mary. She's got 2 things going on.
Well, yeah, so Mary is viewing, but she's on the phone. See?
Oh, okay.
See how you can tell she doesn't have a microphone next to her little thing?
Oh.
Anyways. Okay.
I'll read it.
Okay.
Okay. From an early age, we are conditioned to suck in our stomach to look thinner. For women, it becomes habit by adolescence. But wait, I need to make it bigger. Continually sucking in our stomach means your body gets less oxygen. When you take a breath, your diaphragm, the main muscle that helps you breathe, drops to allow air to enter your lungs. Breathing causes your stomach and lower back to expand to accommodate your diaphragm. If you are holding your stomach in, your diaphragm has nowhere to go, and as a result, your breathing will become shallow. Holding your stomach in can result in your body getting 33% less oxygen than normal, which can make you feel tired and can even slow down your metabolism. So let it all out. Let it all hang out. GOGIs and belly breathe. Tamara Dela Cruz.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
So, looking at some of these questions before we get into, before we read through the science behind the tool, was there a time today when anybody realized that they were belly breathing?
Oh yeah, when I was on the phone with Michael, he pissed me off and I had to belly breathe.
Awesome. So it's nice when it becomes habit, right? It's nice when it's something that we start to do automatically.
I do it like a few times throughout the day on a regular basis. Like I said, this is my favorite tool. I use it all the time.
Why do you guys think some people breathe with their chest when they're upset?
Because it's like a subconscious thing. You've been doing it for your whole life, basically.
Because they're angry, they're holding all that negative energy in their chest because they're hyperventilating or their heart's pumping harder and they forget to breathe from their stomach and bring oxygen to their brain.
Right. So what do you think we can do to use belly breathing more often each day?
Just do it.
Just like Nike says, right? Just get GOGI with it. All right. Hey, Joanne, did you see this?
Yeah, Joanne, you're a star.
Ooh, Joanne. I don't know if I had this. I didn't know if I had this in here the last time we went through this or not. I'm pulling other comments. Monica's given some, and Rebecca, and so I'm pulling some of those for some of the other tools. Oh, I guess I went past it too much. Okay. So let's get into the science behind the tool, belly breathing, which comes from, again, the pink book. Now, the blue book, I'm waiting for Coach to send me one because the only copy I can find is like $75 for a paperback, and I'm not paying that. And it's on Amazon. But the blue book is actually supposed to have even more.
I want to get Michael the anger management book so bad.
Did she go away? Oh, she went away?
Ooh.
Oh, no, she's here.
I lost sound for a minute, if you were talking about me.
Yeah.
Could you guys not hear me?
No, we couldn't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I put my headset on and I think it's out of battery. Here we go. All right, I'll just stay on speaker. All right, I'll go ahead and read this part here. So the science behind the tool of belly breathing. The most powerful tools that we have as women are often the most simple. You would think that breathing is natural and that it is done correctly and automatically. However, this is not the case. You may also think that breathing properly is not very important. However, it is the most important thing that we can do for controlling our thoughts and automatic reactions. When observing a baby's breathing, you will see his or her entire body expand and contract with every breath. You will see their little belly rise and fall as they effortlessly take in oxygen. As you watch them, it seems as if their entire body fills with air because their little body expands and moves with every breath. And it seems as if their entire body contracts and moves with every breath when the unused air is exhaled. This can be compared to a balloon as it moves and expands when it is filled with air. Seriously, I've never thought about that before either, but don't babies look like their whole little body is like blowing up when they breathe? So, okay, take it from the little ones. To breathe as effortlessly as a baby does is the natural process of breathing. If you observe adults, however, you will see a wide variety of breathing patterns. Most breathing patterns of adults are ineffectual at relieving stress. In some cases, breathing can provoke anxiety and rage. You might notice that women who are stressed, chronically depressed, angry, or irritated have a breathing pattern that is very different from those who are relaxed and calm. The calm person's body moves and expands when they breathe. The uptight person's body is likely to remain rigid and stiff, as the air has a difficult time getting into the lungs. A chronically angry person may attempt to become still and quiet. Yet it is very likely that when she breathes, you know what, I need to make this more when they breathe, because this all came out of a book for women, but it needs to be for men too. Her chest will rise and fall rapidly. The shoulders of a stressed woman might noticeably rise and fall with every breath she takes. Some women might appear to have no signs of breathing, as their body is so rigid and stressed that it barely moves. Stressed, angry, or fearful women have fallen into the habit of breathing poorly. When a woman is breathing properly, the belly area will move in and out. Fight or flight response. Breathing automatically becomes rapid and localized in the chest area during states of anger, fear, danger, or heightened psychological awareness. Shallow breathing is a psychological response to the need to pump oxygen quickly into your lungs in response to immediate danger. This quick fix response does not support the body's long-term success at relaxation. When breathing rapidly, your body instantly enters a fight or flight response. The body is designed to react automatically to threats or impending danger. It is necessary for the logical part of the brain to shut down and let your animal instincts take over when threatened with loss of life. Savina or Joanne, I'm sorry, I can't remember who hasn't read. Would one of you like to read this page?
I can read.
Would you? Okay, thank you.
Yep. Instincts take over when threatened with the loss of life. As the body enters a panic state with shallow and rapid breathing, the smart or logical thinking shuts down. It automatically signals you to fight for your life or take flight and run to safety. This natural reaction is called the fight or flight response. Breathing so that air only gets into the chest is shallow breathing, and is a natural defense mechanism designed to help you protect yourself when you need to act quickly to save your life. Although it might help under threatening circumstances, this type of shallow or limited chest breathing can be disadvantageous in relationships. You are smarter, calmer, more powerful, and able to make better decisions when you breathe in a relaxed manner. Angry, depressed, irritated individual usually utilizes chest breathing. Their entire body is missing out on much needed oxygen. The limbic system. Let's look at an area inside the brain called the limbic system. The limbic system is a group of brain parts with many functions. One important job is to warn us when we are in situations of real or perceived danger. When we believe that we are in danger, the limbic system sends out messages and our body reacts immediately. When we are anxious, angry, fearful, depressed, or have similar emotions, it is likely our limbic system is pumping cortisol and other chemicals into our blood system in amounts that alter our reactions. High levels of cortisol can be counterproductive. Cortisol is valuable as it gives us the ability to react to stressful situations in an immediate and urgent manner. Cortisol has an important function in your body. However, it is not useful when individuals experience or interpret an environment to be hostile. That is when it is delivered throughout the body constantly and continually. When too much cortisol pumps through your system or other hormones and chemicals are out of balance, the signs become observable in the body. Women with tightly balled fists are usually operating from a stress-based, high cortisol level way of being. Women with cold hands and feet, extra weight around their middle, and who breathe shallowly are likely to be suffering from high levels of stress and high levels of cortisol. It is interesting to note that when we get used to this type of functioning, it becomes a neurological pathway and the body assumes it as normal habit. When we are stressed for a long period of time, our body thinks, okay, this is how I am supposed to be. Stress is the natural state. Let me settle into pumping out more cortisol and tightening my muscles. We might exist with high levels of cortisol and other fight or flight responses and think that it's normal. In some cases, we do live in environments that are potentially dangerous, and therefore our bodies are never given the opportunity to know what it's like to be physically at peace. The truth of the matter.
Whoops.
Sorry about that. It's a truth times two, is that the body was designed to breathe like a safe and healthy baby, with each and every part of the body gently expanding and contracting as we calmly inhale and exhale. Belly breathing is a technique that works instantly on even the most habitual chest or shoulder breathing. This breathing technique is important for those having a difficult time controlling negative or unproductive thoughts or actions. Scientific studies prove that breathing properly relaxes the mind and increases the likelihood that thoughts and actions can be controlled. Keep going.
Joanne, do you want to read the rest?
Yeah.
Okay, so can be controlled. Okay, so you'll start at how does belly breathing work?
Okay, how does belly breathing work? When you use belly breathing, oxygen flows into the lungs more effectively and your body is relaxed enough to process the oxygen optimally. Breathing this way allows your body to relax. Relaxed breathing allows you to make better decisions and handle adverse situations better. Added benefits of belly breathing. There is an additional benefit to the belly breathing technique. When breathing with the stomach area, the muscles in that area become firmer and stronger. This is the kind of breathing that athletes use in their regular exercise regimen to build strong, lean muscles in their stomach area. Can you put it up?
Oh, it didn't. Oh, it's stuck. It's not scrolling. How about now?
No.
Come on. It's not scrolling. Where did you leave off? What is wrong?
After added benefit. Oh, no, it moved, but down.
Added benefits of belly breathing. She finished that paragraph.
Okay. Oh, there. Did it move?
Yeah.
Okay, there. Oh, leave it there. Mastering belly breathing in everyday life allows you to react differently to stress. An extra bonus is that you are likely to develop a firmer set of stomach muscles in that process. Here's why belly breathing works. When you are angry, fearful, or in a state of rage, it is likely that you are breathing with limited oxygen into the lungs. It is likely that you breathe your breath with you breathe with your chest rising and falling. Your belly is likely to remain still. Chest breathing limits the amount of oxygen available throughout your body. Can you tell if you are belly breathing or chest breathing as you read? Breathing is usually a relaxing activity, and it could be that your belly expands and contracts during this relaxed state. How are you breathing right this very moment? If your belly is rising and falling with each breath, when there is limited oxygen in the body, you cannot fully function. With limited oxygen, smart decisions get put to the side and emergency or panic needs to go up. Decisions move into panic actions. Panic decisions and panic actions are rarely to your advantage. How to do belly breathing. If you can't control your thoughts, you can't control your actions. And you can't control the way you respond to the actions of others. An action is always preceded by a thought, even when we are not aware of the thought. A major tool in controlling your thought is simply getting oxygen to the entire brain and throughout your entire body. As simple as it seems, belly breathing and the act of getting the proper amount of oxygen to your entire body is likely to change your actions when you are angry or upset. Keep going.
Mon, do you want to read the rest?
I'll keep going. Here are the three simple steps for belly breathing. Step 1. Solid ground. No matter what is going on, think about how firmly your feet are on the ground. Think about placing them firmly on the earth as you begin the process of belly breathing. Plant your feet on solid ground. People are usually better breathers if they feel solid. Step 2. Feel your feet. One way that helps people who are really stuck in bad breathing patterns to have them pretend and use their imagination. If you are having a difficult time getting effortless breath into your lungs so that your body will process that oxygen optimally, here is a little trick that works wonders on the most difficult or tense women. Imagine a moment that you need to fill your feet up with air. Imagine that your lungs, which are in your chest area, are actually in your feet. It might seem funny to pretend that your lungs are actually located in your feet, but this technique works wonders at getting the body prepared for optimal breathing. Imagine that your feet expand and contract like two balloons filling up with air each time you breathe. This trick works perfectly to help the body do what it's designed to do and get fresh oxygen into the entire bloodstream. Step 3. Belly breathe. Fill your stomach area like filling a balloon as you inhale. When you inhale, imagine that there is a balloon in your belly, and as you take in the air, the balloon expands. The more you inhale, the bigger the belly balloon gets. When exhaling, pull your belly button to your spine. If you're not certain you are doing it properly, try this trick before you fall asleep. Lay on your back, place a book on your hand over your belly button. Just observe. Do not do nothing but feel what happens as the air moves in and out of your body. Take some time and just watch your belly area. As you inhale, notice that when air comes into your body, your lungs fill up and your belly fills up. Likewise, when air leaves your body, watch as your body and hand on your belly move slower toward your spine.
Okay, I'll read this last. Do you want to keep going, or do you want me to read the last part?
You could read it if you like. It doesn't matter.
Okay, I think that's the last part. That's a lot.
Finish it.
Yeah, go ahead and finish it.
Do it this night after night. You will become aware of a new breathing pattern that will soon extend into your daylight hours. Belly breathing will help you master relaxed breathing. Go easy on yourself. Go easy on yourself when learning this and self-empowerment techniques. Remember, sometimes lasting change happens slowly and over time. You may also be working to get rid of bad habits that you've had for a long time. Lastly, give change an honest chance and keep practicing. Eventually, your body will create the new habit that will serve to your advantage. You may not even notice the changes. That does not matter. Just keep moving forward. It takes about 21 days to create a new neurological habit inside your body. Keep practicing week after week, and before you know it, you will have created a new neurological habit for yourself. Remember that somewhere very early in your childhood, you develop habits due to your experiences and environment. You might have heard gunshots on a playground that frightened you, like the fifth grader in Watts, California. You may have developed a psychological coping tool that caused you to breathe from a state of fear. The good news is that the fact that you can change how your body responds to almost anything. Continue to practice the positive brain and belly breathing. They work to assist you in the changes that will undoubtedly improve your life.
Thank you. Okay, so obviously I need to take this out because I didn't copy the part about the fifth grader, the fifth grader and what. All right. So what did you guys get out of all of this? What was the part about cortisol? Let's go back up to the part about cortisol.
That's the reason we're
so. Yeah, is it? I was wondering about that.
No,
so,
it is. That keeps us in this chubby state. Oh, Jesus.
So, because it made, what really caught me is when that our bodies get used to being at a certain level. So, if we suffer from high levels of stress, high levels of cortisol, that our body gets used to this and it becomes a neurological pathway, and the body assumes this is a normal habit. So our body thinks, if we've stayed stressed long enough, this is how I'm supposed to be, which is why they say that stress causes stomach weight, right? Isn't that belly weight?
Yes.
Yep.
And then I had heard too that that internal, like some of the most dangerous weight is when we carry it around our organs. Then that's something that stress does also. I didn't realize that was cortisol. That's interesting. So if we de-stress, we can de-fat, right?
Right. Reduce.
We all have,
as my grandmother says.
We all have men in prison. How are we going to de-stress?
Hey, I've seen some skinny prison wives. I would like to.
Oh, hell.
Maybe it just must be in their genes or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, mine doesn't want me to lose weight. He likes me how I am, so I'm okay with that. I told him I've lost like 50 pounds since April, and he was like, "No, you need to gain that back." I was like,
Wow.
Leave me alone." I can't.
Yeah.
Can I please have a man that says that? Good Lord.
No.
I would be
Right?
suspect. I'd be like, because you don't want anyone else to look at me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You just want me to
exactly.
look like, a Guernsey, and then because no one's going to want to be with me.
Yeah.
I had one guy actually tell me I was too skinny for him, and I thought, oh, I'm going to write this day down. Too skinny for somebody. What? Oh, that was great.
Yeah,
But he's always told me. He's always told me that he wanted a thick girl, and if I get too skinny, he's gonna think that I won't want him anymore because he's a big guy.
Oh, okay.
And
So that's around an issue that he has.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Got it.
But he's always
Got it.
trying to lose weight too. He's like, now I need to catch up to you. And I'm like, well, you're going to lose weight in county, so you'll be caught up to me. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Men can lose weight in their sleep. You know, it's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I know. It's so much easier for them.
Because they have testosterone.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. Okay, so why does belly breathing work?
Because it's a genius tool. It works.
I
works because
read somewhere that I can't remember where it was. It must have been in the How to GOGI book where she said it is impossible to be enraged if you belly breathe. It is impossible to stay in a raged state of mind if you belly breathe.
Impossible. I completely agree with that. I know, like I've told you guys already, that this tool is absolutely amazing. I love whoever came up with it. It's helped me tremendously through a lot of different things. I also have anger issues, as you guys are well aware of. I freak out all the time, and I have to stop myself and belly breathe to get out of that.
Yeah.
So it is a great tool.
Well, I totally failed at this weekend. Just to give you guys a quick update on my little speech thing on Saturday. I did good. I did good on that part. The subject matter, though, it was on abuse. It was on a bunch of different kinds of abuse. And some of the stories I heard from survivors of these women that most of them had been in prison and everything. And some of the stuff that these women have endured, I couldn't imagine going through what they've gone through. And it kind of like triggered a little something in me because, I've been through not nearly what they did. But then I went outside after, I got up there and showed everybody my blown up mugshot and to get everybody's attention. And afterwards, I went outside because it was really hot. And that's where all the kids were. I was wondering where the kids were. So I went out and I talked to the kids. I love children. So I gathered everybody around, taught them boss of my brain and everything. And I told them, I said, if anybody ever touches you, if anybody ever tries to hurt you, you need to be the boss of your brain. You need to tell a grown-up. You need to tell somebody. Even if they say they're going to hurt your mommy and daddy, that's a lie. You need to tell somebody. And this one little girl turned away. And as she turned away, she grabbed my hand. And the boys were talking, I'm boss of my brain. No, you're not. I'm boss of my, whatever. And so after we're done, everybody kind of walked away except this little girl. And so she turned around and she looked at me and she says, I'm going to be boss of my brain from now on. And I told her, I said, that's good. I said, that's good. You need to be boss of your brain. And I said, are you okay? And she had this look on her face of shame. And I almost lost it because I recognized that look. I've had that look. I know that look. And and she held my hand really tight, and we didn't really say much more about it, but we walked around, and every once in a while she would tell me, I'm going to be boss of my brain. And I told her, and she was getting more confident. Right? And so right as she was leaving, I gave her auntie some information, and I told her, auntie, I would like to, keep up and see how she's doing. And her auntie said, okay, that's fine. And right before she left, I said, who's boss of your brain? And she like almost screamed. She says, I'm boss of my brain. And I said, that's good. You remember that. And then, she left, and then I went and saw Veronica Maldonado, and I was fine. And then I get in my car to go home, and I completely lose my crap. I just lose my crap in the car because I had all these emotions and all these memories flooding back, and all I could do was cry as I'm driving, wanting my mom and dad, wanting to feel safe, I didn't belly breathe. I wasn't boss of my brain. I wasn't anything. And the funny thing was, Ernesto called me to see how that day went. And I pretty much he called at the absolute wrong time. And I lost my crap. And it sucked. And I sat there and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't. I don't know that I'm strong enough to do this because some of these women have gone through horrendous things. And of course, he tried to get me to belly breathe. I'm like, I don't want to belly breathe. I mean, I just lost my whole
It's
crap.
okay to lose your crap, though. It's okay to do that. Like, honestly,
And the whole next day, I was out of it. And then the Cardinals won, and I felt a little bit better.
Oh, thank God.
But yeah, so
that gave me goosebumps with the little girl because that, like, I didn't even see the look on her face, but because she took you by your hand and said that so softly, like, something's happening to her.
And it upset me because I was like, there's nothing I can do to help her. And I looked at all these little innocent faces, and I just was losing. I'm thinking, somebody's going to take that innocence away. There's absolutely nothing I can do to help them. And I feel better now, but in that moment,
you did. You taught
that you helped her.
You taught her.
Yeah.
So you probably did help her. When she's going to say something to someone.
I hope she says something. I hope she doesn't. Right. She has a little GOGI thing. She has a card. I mean, who knows? It's just. It was rough.
Hopefully,
there's some strong ass women that were in that group, and I'm telling you, it's hard.
Hopefully, you get good news about her. You'll have to update us.
Yeah, no, I hope so too. And, Ernesto's like, I'm really sorry that was hard. He goes, but you have a responsibility. You can't stop. You have a responsibility. You now have to this and this. And I'm like, thanks a lot there, peer coach. So I ended up hanging up on him because I seriously was out of control. But yes.
Tamara.
Yeah.
With that, the feeling that you had with the little girl, you have to explore your feelings as well, because you wanting to be a peer coach, you're going to experience that on the daily basis.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to do a lot of self-care, and you're going to have to see a therapist and work through your issues of why you related to know so much. Because you're going to, the GOGI is going to help, but you have to realize what took you there, because I hear stories of sexual abuse and stuff like that. And before I addressed my issues of being sexually molested when I was a little girl, I used to cry with the patients, and that's not okay.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
Yeah, no, and I thought I maybe I haven't brought it up to you, but yeah, I was. And that's why it affects me. I know that look, because when I was 5,
we recognize it because we've been there, but
right, because we've been there, but I've never dealt with it fully. Yeah.
Especially you going out and reaching out to so many of these people, and unfortunately, you're going to continue bumping into these people, and those are the people that were out there to help when bringing these groups out to the community.
Yeah.
But self-care, and I can't stop reinforcing that. GOGI is good, don't get me wrong, but you need to do other stuff other than just GOGI for taking care of your own personal well-being.
You're the third person that's told me that today. Honestly, the third person that's told me that I have to do that, and I've never thought about that, but it's true, because I almost started crying, and I thought I cannot do that. I can't do that in front of people. So no, thank you, Joanne. Yeah, I know I need to. Anyways, all right. Well, gee, it's almost 9:30, so
you can go through 500 counselors if you need to find the right one. You don't have to stick with one, and I just learned that not that long ago, so I need to find a new counselor myself.
Yeah. All right. So, I'm sorry, we're already at 9:30, and I took up all this time. Sorry. Do you guys have any other comments you want to make?
No, I love all you ladies.
Love you too. Well, I feel better sharing that, because I knew I had to share that with you guys, but it makes me feel very weak. But I know that it's something that eventually I'm gonna have to deal with. All right, Mon. So we have a whole lot of typos in this thing, so I'm definitely gonna go through it. A whole lot going on here, so I'm gonna go through that.
Okay.
All right, so who would like to close with the GOGI pledge?
I will.
Okay.
Okay, GOGI pledge. Please repeat after me. May our commitment.
May our commitment
to the study of GOGI
to the study of
to the
GOGI,
study of GOGI,
grant us the joy
grant us the joy
grant us the joy
of giving and receiving,
of
of
giving and
giving and
receiving,
receiving,
so that our inner freedom
so that our inner
so
freedom
that our inner freedom
may be of maximum service
may be a
may
maximum
be of
service
maximum service
to those we love
to those
to
we love
those we love
and infinite others.
and infinite
and
others.
infinite others.
Amen.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Amen. We invite you to join us for our next meeting to be held. It's going to be next Monday. We're not going to do Wednesday for a little while till I can get caught up on work. So next meeting to be held next Monday, where we will study the GOGI tool.
Camera's tool.
Flippity flip flip. 5-second light switch.
Oh yeah, I was gonna
Yep.
say positive.
Flippity flip flip. Love that one. All right. So let's do 1, 2, 3 GOGI for life. 1, 2, 3. GOGI for
GOGI
life.
for life.
Bye. Good night,
All
ladies.
right. Thank you guys.
Good night.
Love you guys. All right. Have a great rest of the
Love
week.
you too.
Okay.
You too.
Talk
Thank
to you later.
Good night.
Bye.